Hello everybody. So here is the answer to today's quiz. The clinical picture is that of a 45-year-old gentleman with a papular rash around the mouth since 1 year. Clinically, I think this is a spotter that most of you would have got it. This is typical perioral dermatitis. Okay, I don't think there is a major differential here clinically. Now let us see if the histology matches. Now on low power, you can see the histology essentially demonstrates a granulomatous infiltrate, which is limited to the upper dermis. The deep dermis is relatively spared. It is particularly concentrating on the follicular infundibulum. This is a infundibulum, follicular infundibulum, and you can see here as well. And it is definitely lichenoid. You can see here that the entire basement membrane zone is destroyed by this lichenoid and granulomatous infiltrate. So it is essentially a lichenoid and granulomatous infiltrate. Focal parakeratosis is seen, and what you also see here is this sort of a granular material here. Okay, this is higher part of the same thing. You can see this sort of granular material. Now this granular material is this is typical of caseous necrosis. You don't see this in, I mean, this is not collagenolisis, this is not degenerated collagen, this is, well, it is degenerated connective tissue to some extent, but this is not the type you'd see in granuloma annulare. This is caseous type necrosis where you see this granular eosinophilic material. And you're seeing lots of giant cells. So giant cells are very prominent here. These are typical Langhans type giant cells. Some are foreign body type here, which you can see. Numerous giant cells interspersed with a few, these blue dots are lymphocytes. So you see lymphocytes, giant cells, and histiocytes on their own as well. This is a histiocyte. This is a histiocyte trying to form a giant cell as well. So essentially, what we are seeing, this is an eccrine gland. In case you didn't get that. So this is basically an inflammation which is fairly deepish in the mid dermis. Actually, probably this picture was taken from around here. But yeah, it is top heavy. It is concentrating on the follicular infundibulum. Now, this sort of picture, whenever you're seeing a granuloma in an Indian context, you would think about either Hansen's or TB. Now, tubercular Hansen's usually presents with serpentine granulomas. Usually tubercular Hansen's has very well defined, closely discrete granulomas. Here the granulomas are much more loose and they're not well circumscribed. Okay, so this is unlike tuberculoid Hansen. Tuberculoid Hansen doesn't produce these sort of lichenoid and granulomatous pattern. A lichenoid granulomatous pattern may be seen in cutaneous TB, particularly like lupus vulgaris, and that usually has caseous necrosis as well. So based on histology alone, lupus vulgaris is a definite possibility. Okay, but obviously clinical picture should determine your diagnosis as well. So this question was to describe just this histology. So lichenoid dermatitis is present, granulomatous dermatitis is present. Pseudoepitheliomatous hyperplasia refers to epidermal acanthosis in the pattern of a squamous cell carcinoma. So it should be epitheliomatous, like a SCC, which is absent here. This is what you're just seeing is just acanthosis. You don't actually think of a malignancy when you're seeing this acanthosis here. Yes, there is some sawtoothing of reti ridges as well, typical in any lichenoid infiltrate, but there is no pseudoepitheliomatous hyperplasia. These cells are not two-tone type. These are Langhans type giant cells with sort of foreign body type giant cells as well, but no Langhans, but no two-tone giant cells. And yes, there is caseous type necrosis. So based on histology alone, which of the diagnoses can be excluded? Now, before we even discuss, let me just reiterate that the four entities, granulomatous rosacea, perioral dermatitis, LMDF, figure, are all part of the same spectrum. To me, there is no real major value in differentiating between them. Histologically, especially, because histologically they all appear similar. In fact, I would add acne acuminata into that as well. In acne acuminata, there is often a much more well-defined larger nodules, and you often find caseous necrosis to a much larger extent in acne acuminata. But figure is pretty much similar. There is a huge overlap, I do not personally try to distinguish between them histologically. They clinically differ partly. Perioral dermatitis and granulomatous rosacea are almost similar histologically. Figure, acne acuminata, and figure and acne acuminata are pretty much similar histologically. But yeah, there is a huge overlap. All of them overlap with each other. So, which of these can be excluded? Granuloma annulare usually has collagenelysis, and so that can be excluded here. This is not papular GA, and you don't have the typical, you don't have a lichenoid granulomatous pattern in granuloma annulare. PLE is not granulomatous, so definitely excluded. Figure and granulomatous rosacea, I have to mention, do not have a lichenoid and granulomatous infiltrate. So, but again, just because there is a lichenoid infiltrate, you don't exclude these diagnoses. Lupus vulgaris is typically, typically has a lichenoid and granulomatous infiltrate, but that doesn't mean you exclude the others. So, figure and granulomatous rosacea can present rarely with a lichenoid infiltrate, and I would definitely not exclude them based on the histology alone. Tuberculoid Hansen's, however, can be excluded simply because, as I told you, there are no serpentine granulomas. The granulomas are much more loose, and therefore you can exclude tuberculoid Hansen's on histology alone. Now, the final diagnosis is, one of the above. Either if you mentioned either figure, granulomatous rosacea, if you mentioned acne acuminata, or if you mentioned perioral dermatitis, LMDF, I have given you marks. However, the right answer based on clinical and histology is perioral dermatitis. So if you mention that, you've got 11 marks. If you've not mentioned that, if you mentioned the alternative diagnosis or the related diagnoses, I've given you 7 marks. Okay, hope that clarifies your queries if you have any, if you had any after answering this quiz. Thank you.